we always have new people coming into the space, especially right now with kind of the bull market. And a lot of my guests talk about just this being such an advantageous time. A lot of us bought in when ETH was at 4,000, 3,000, and now it's down to 1,000. It's easy to break into the space, right? So to that person who's just getting in, they got their MetaMask, they purchased their ETH, they understand, they know what's going on with NFTs to an extent, but they just don't know where to start. They don't know, or maybe something that when you know now that you didn't know when you made your first mint of the crooks back then. What's that number one piece of advice that you would give to that person?
Um, don't click on anything. Look, so like and I'm saying that because I remember probably like day 3 in, I went to a website that looked so on point. You know what I mean? And I pressed confirm or agree, whatever it is on MetaMask. I walked my dog, came back home, and $400 in ETH was gone. And I'm like, ah, damn, they're good. I remember I swiped my entire computer, set up a whole new wallet, and just since then, like I use one browser specifically for, my MetaMask. I use a completely different account specifically for Web3 transactions. Um, other than the safety stuff though, I mean, the main piece of advice other than that is just play with, and I use the word play on purpose. I don't even want to use the word invest, but like play with the money that you're willing to lose. So the easiest way to put that in perspective, like what I do is I make it into like analogies of shoes. Okay. So this pair of shoes is 200, pair of shoes is 800. Am I willing to buy that pair of shoes and have them get messed up the first day I get them? Will I die or cry or be okay if they get stolen out of my car? Like that is the way I have to, put into perspective. For bigger opportunities, like I treat them like vacations. Like okay, I have this much in my wallet right now. I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say it's $5,000. Okay, whether it's $5,000 and a little bit in DC, a little bit in Ethereum, and maybe I have like $1,000 worth of like a couple NFTs, right? Am I okay with that 5,000 becoming 2,000 maybe at some point? Hopefully, maybe it'll become 5,200 at some point, but like, don't I just what you're comfortable losing or playing with, like play with it, right? Especially if you're just beginning. If you're just comfortable losing $200, then by all means spend 199, So that's my huge tip. It's okay to like everyone has their limits. It's okay to only be comfortable with spending $100.
Hmm.
Like like you'll there's so much ego in spaces. So, like, oh dog, I should have sold this when it was 3 ETH. Like, good bro, you know what I mean? But like there's so much of that ego, but just that's all noise. Just don't get pressured by that, you know?
Shout out first. Okay, you holy cow, you. That's why I love you, Mary B. Okay, shout out all the ladies in the space, and I know we have a lot of ladies that listen to the Door Show. And listen up. I mean, she's preaching from your perspective. It's absolutely awesome to be able to hear that. And you mentioned your analogy of shoes, and it just cracked me up. Just to actually like think about that and like and it's just it's to have those connections and understand like you're involved with Tim Cook and the Dream Catchers and always hanging out with that group of guys and Garbett and shout out Alec and all those guys. Um, and I liken it to sports. I say investing is a contact sport. If you don't have enough padding to survive a couple of hits, then you shouldn't be in the game, right?
Mm.
So that makes a lot of people think, oh, okay, I guess so. But it's so true. You shouldn't risk lights. You shouldn't risk food in the fridge or anything.
Like let me like this is the best way. This is real life for me. If I buy if I make a transaction, let's say it's like $1,000. Okay, like it's like this, like buying a brand new pair of like YSL. Okay, like, do I need these? No. Do I want them? Fuck yeah. Do I like, would I be okay like not having them? Kind of. Like I treat them just like that. Do you get what I'm saying? And
Mm,
so, is if something happens to them, if they get stolen, like that's how I personally have to approach it. And it's the only that's why I just am able to survive, you know?
absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's also why I put mental and financial literacy expert, because
I'm not
just
an
gives
expert.
hey, I'm gonna call you an expert because that is just incredible, incredible advice. And we always say not financial advice. That's financial advice to the T, to the core, and giving yourself a mental image of yeah, these pictures, these JPEGs are actually just like that. It's so easy to hit that connect button in Mint or Sweep or whatever for zero point zero 0.04 or 0.07, but it's a lot of money in some cases to some people. So it's definitely something to think about.
It's
But
also yeah.
yeah, but that to kind of switch gears a little bit, you talk a lot about mental literacy, and I know that's really really important to you in the space, and spreading that PLP, that peace, love, and positivity we always like to say around here. But I saw you had like mind momentum or mental momentum the other day, and I don't know, I wanted you to kind of elaborate and just why mental health is just also so important to you in the space, and some things that maybe people could take a little knowledge from of, hey, go touch some grass, or maybe not stuff that basic, but some things that, because I know you share some good insights on that from time to time for sure.
Yeah, so like I'm not a wellness guru or a mental like everything I don't really teach actually. I just share my experiences and I ask a shit ton of questions. That's what I do. And then like from there you organically see where you can relate and then other people end up asking questions and then we kind of learn about each other and boom, what happens? Oh my gosh. We both have a little bit more empathy than we did when we first walked in the room. You know what I mean?